so happy that it's done now. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now this is going to be part 2 of colouring in the Mouse Guard, and it's this colouring book. Now I will say the same thing as what I did in the last video. I have seen this book available on eBay. That's the only place that I have found it. There's a couple of second-hand ones on there because I know that it's very difficult to get hold of this book now, and I'm just thanking myself for buying it when I did, because it's such a lovely book and it's took the watercolour beautifully. Now this was, we're currently Monday, I did this on Saturday night. I didn't get a chance yesterday to finish it unfortunately, but the page is more or less flattened out, apart from these dints, which is my own stupid fault for putting them clips on. Maybe I should have put some cloth and then the clips over the top. I'll know for next time. But because I've done with all the watercolour now, whoops, here we go, and it's ripping. Because I've done with that, I'm going to take this off. Now I've got an idea. Let me plug in my heat gun, because it is ripping the paper there at the bottom. If I can plug the thing in, I'm going to try and melt the glue a little bit, but I don't want to use it too much because I don't want the paper to be damaged. See if this helps. It seems to be. It's tricky though doing it with one hand, peeling it off. Right, so that's the way to do it. So unfortunately it has damaged the page ever so slightly at the bottom, but luckily it's not took any of the watercolour off. But it's ripping the paper a lot down here. That's the only place that I've had the issue. That's really strange, that one corner at the bottom there that did not like that tape. I'm gonna have to take that off. Luckily it's not affected the illustration. It could have been worse. Now I will bring you closer because I want to show you the effects. So these were the Schmincke watercolour paints, and they are, what do you call it? I forgot the name. Were they all separate? Super granulating watercolours, and you can see where it was like a grey colour, this, so you can see the undertones of the blues and the purples and the different undertones in the greens. It's really nice paint to work with, that. So I'm going to get the pencils out. I think I'm going to use Arteza to finish this page off, and I will do it in real time because I don't think it'll take me too long. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the video. So my Arteza pencils, I thought I'm better off using these a little bit cheaper of a brand instead of like the Light Pastel or even the Prismacolor, because the Prismacolor are quite expensive to get over here. I would use a slightly cheaper brand, and I have got a backup set of these from 2 Christmases ago when they were on a really good deal, so I like using these on pages that I've prepped with watercolour. I've not picked out my colours, I'm just gonna go with the flow, whatever I see fit. I don't want to have to do, push my chair forward, I don't want to have to do loads and loads to these leaves because I don't want to cover up the effect the paint's already given me. So let me bring you down. There we go. Please excuse my horrible nails. Apparently I've gone back to biting them again. I think it's stress. But the colour that I've got here is that Coyote Brown? Coyote Brown. Got a bit of a sharpen. And I know in the Arteza sets they have some beautiful teals, so that'll be ideal for his little jumper and his, what do you call that? My brain's just, it's like a brain fart constantly today. Cape, that's it. So I just want to add a little bit of this just to define the veins in the leaves. Just a touch. Do not want to cover up all that beautiful paint. So I've done that before, and then I've thought, what was the point in even using that really nice paint if I'm just covering it up with something else? So I'll try my best not to do that today. I still am debating whether I should put black acrylic all around the black background, and that will help cover up the whoopsie that I've just had with ripping the paint. So I might do that as well. That will not take me long to do at all. But I don't want this colour pulling out near any of these light areas. Really minimal shading. I want it to be all the way at the watercolour. I've thought actually about tracing one of these images and transferring it onto watercolour paper and just purely using watercolour paint, and I'll be able to create some beautiful effects as well with it being on really thick paper. So that might be an idea. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments and I can film the process of that. But I'll warn you now, it might be a long video because tracing and transferring takes me ages. But it's worth it. So a little bit here. I want to do a little bit more actually these leaves behind because they are going to be in the shadow a little bit. Not too much. And then we have to do the light effect and add the metallic paint or gel pen. I've not decided yet which one I want to go with, but I want to add that to the lantern. So being really light-handed here. And not forgetting that there's a couple of leaves at the bottom. Now looking back at the colour choices, I do really like them, but I don't like this green. I wish I'd chosen a darker green. So I will go over the top of most of that, probably light up to about here and darken it up ever so slightly, because I don't think it goes with the rest of the picture, and because I want the lantern to be the lightest part of this illustration. I think your eye's sort of drawn to that really bright green. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but in true life it is really, like, you look at it and your eyes just immediately go to these green bandages, which I didn't want. So I'll see if I can cover up that with just pencil. So we need a nice turquoise colour, which, if I'm remembering correctly, the Arteza pencils have a nice selection. Yeah, so we've got a deep teal and we've got ocean blue. Let me just double check. Yep, I think that'll do. So that's the lighter colour, and let's sharpen this. I'm going to keep all my sharpening signs in the video today. That should do the trick. So we'll start off with the lighter one, which is the deep teal. Again, really light hand. And I don't want this colour to go over the whole of the green paint that I've already put down, the teal paint, because then what was the point of me painting it? I might as well have just used pencils. So if I switch to the ocean blue now, can I deepen this up a little bit? Not too much. Yeah, that should work. Right, I'm just thinking out loud here. If I do the light effect now, that might be a better idea, because I could go over the top of this. If I get any colour on it, I can go over the top with the metallic watercolour paint and it should be okay. Whereas if I do the metallic watercolour and then go over the top with pencil, it might leave a really funny texture on the page, which I'm not too thrilled about. So I think get all the rest of the details coloured, add the light effect to him and some of the background, and then colour in the rest of the lantern, and then finish off with the black background. I could do the black background and then I could do the light effect coming out. I'm just thinking out loud. That's what's happening. This colouring in this boot, painting in this boot has really made me want a second copy. There's a couple of pictures in this boot that I did really early of me getting back into art again, and they're not very good. They're not very good. So I'd like the chance to do them pages again. So yes, I think I'll have to have another look on eBay myself. Now there's some tassels here that I did go over with the same paint as the rest, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the shadows with the same colour. So we need to deepen that up a little bit now. They're like a mixture of these pencils. They're like if Prismacolor and Polychromos had a baby. I think that's what these feel like when you're colouring with them. You can be a little bit more heavy-handed and they don't break, but they do blend nicely. Not as nice as Prismacolor, I don't think. Don't come for me. But you can layer them up, layer and layer and layer them up as well, like Polychromos. I do think they're a good budget friendly pencil. In saying that, I've never tried Arteza watercolour paints. I've heard really good things about them, but never tried them. Deepen that up now. A little bit underneath there that I almost missed then. I think it's quite effective, that. Now, I don't want to make it as dark on this side. So maybe I don't add the darker colour on this side. And be a little more lighter handed. think I've coloured that. I think that's meant to be part of the finger. Oh, it is what it is. The colour's already down there now, there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, I won't add any of that dark shade on this side. So for the little guy, it's going to be difficult this, because it is like brown, grey, purple, blue. There's all sorts of different colours going on here. So I'm not sure which would be the best for adding the shadows. I'm leaning towards purple, believe it or not. This is royal purple or amethyst purple. I've got this, which isn't the best. I can get an idea. I think that amethyst purple, yeah, I think the amethyst purple is going to be the best bet. I'm not going to add loads, just a little bit, purely because you can see the blues and purples poking through. So I thought it would go nicely instead of just using a grey or a black. Using really light pressure here. I don't want much colour, just a tad. Shall I do it this side or that side? Up here. Underneath the clothes. You can just see the little jumper pop a little bit here. I really try my best not to take away from the paint, because it's fabulous. And I'm really liking the effect, so I have a tendency to add too much. So I need to tell myself to stop. His little tail, I realised I don't think I painted that, although I can't remember, it was 2 days ago now. So I'm going to have to try and find a brown that slightly matches this, which I think I'm going to struggle with. Not a brown, maybe a warm grey, mushroom grey. Might not even show up this. Well, it does the job. And then maybe add a little bit of shadow just there. And then we need some on this hand. For the sword, I think I'm just gonna go straight with black. There's noir or there is charcoal grey. I think I'll just go with the noir. Now I do understand that the light source is here, so this should be the darkest, but the reason that I've done this the darkest side is because I think that it'll stand out more being lit up. And maybe a little bit here. Now I'll use the same colour just to add some shadows to the handle. We've got his little buckle as well. I don't want that standing out, so that's not going to be metallic. I thought at first then that might be a good idea, but no. So let me do that. I'm going to keep that black out and go in with honey. Oh, and I forgot about this bit as well, so I'm going to have to pull that blue colour out again. So to dull this down a bit, pop some of this Noir over the top, just a light layer, because I don't want that to stand out. Back in with the, which one was it now? Ocean Blue, and then we had Deep Teal. I'm sure it was Deep Teal. There's a little bit on his top there that I missed. And a buckle belt. Do you do that? Do you think, oh well, I need to do this, this and this and miss bits? I'm terrible for it. While I've got it out, I'm going to add a little bit of this black to it, even though it's called Noir, to add a little bit to it. Try the black first this time, and then go back with the honey, and then black again over the top. That works a little bit better. So the bandages around the feet, this is the bit that I'm not happy with. So let me have a little look. We have Jungle Green and Forest Green, so give both of these a sharpen. It looks like the Jungle Green is the darkest of the two, but I have kept that black out as well. I feel like I should be adding some sort of shadowing to the head, but if I do that, I know what I'm like, I'll just go over the top. So Forest Green. Try and deepen these up ever so slightly. I'm wondering whether to just skip over this Jungle Green and go straight in with the black. Yep, that's what I'm going to do, because it's too close in colour. I'm going to leave all this part showing. I'm happy with that. Where was that purple? Amethyst green. Amethyst purple. Oh, I've got green on the brain. So I am gonna do the background now. I'll still film the background. It'll be Americana black paint that I use. It's my favourite one, and then I'll go from there, because I was thinking about pulling the light effect out onto the black here, but then it might just look a bit strange because all this is going to be just straight up black. So if I get the background done, I'll be able to see a little bit better what I'm thinking of instead of just talking about it. So I need to put these Arteza pencils away and then get both the paint for this, the paint for that. Oh no, I need to keep these out, don't I, for the light effect, of course. So I've prepped all the area that I'm going to paint and put plastic sheet and spare paper on the background. Now this is just a resin palette that I made a million moons ago. They were spare drills. They were not my best piece of art, but it does the trick. I use this just for acrylic paint now. This is the paint that I was talking about. This is my favourite. And I've just realised there's probably only a quarter of that left. It's not much. I'm I've got some low tack tape because I'm going to be a cheater. I need to put some tape on here anyway to protect this page, but I'm going to do a line of tape down here to protect it, and then go around and do it like that. I think that's my safest bet. And then I've just got a cheap heat paintbrush that I've just realised it's got glitter running through it, so hopefully that doesn't show up. But I'm running out of cheap brushes. I painted my conservatory and I used quite a lot of my cheap brushes to do that, so yes, I'm running low. So I'm not too worried anyway about this because I'll just use the heat gun. If it behaves the same as that other masking tape, I'll just do the same thing. So I'll do this section by section. Try and line it up as best as humanly possible. I don't want any white lines. If there's any white lines, you know, I'll deal with it. I'll just have to use a Posca pen or something just to fix that mistake. So let's give it a shake. I'll put it here actually. I'll start off with little because I have a tendency of doing that, putting too much down and wasting paint. So now normally I just do the one coat of this stuff, and I can see that glitter coming through. No! So I might have to do two. If that glitter's poking through and misbehaving, that's my fault for not cleaning the brush. See me nearly dip into that then. I was thinking it was fresh paint. Now I will have to be a little bit patient with this. I don't want to peel this piece of tape up until it's dry, so I'll have to move over to this side. Hopefully that then will be dry, but then I can't do that side until that's dry, so yeah, I'm going to have to be patient. That has made the paper crinkle a lot, which I'm really surprised about. Considering the watercolour didn't even do that, I'm surprised. So same thing with this side. Try and get it as close as possible. That should do the trick. I feel like I'm all fingers and thumbs. I've said it before in numerous videos, like, yeah, this is like a rare boot now, but if you're not getting enjoyment out of it and it's just sitting on the shelf, I don't really see the point. But I understand, like, you know, people collect things, but I like to use the things that I've got. If I don't use it, it doesn't stir. It doesn't stir, and I can't believe how much I enjoyed watercolour painting this on Saturday, so I'm definitely going to do. You will see quite a few more pages, I think, from this book in upcoming months, years. It's just a lovely little book, nice paper. It's not white as well, which I really enjoy. It's like an off-white colour, which I wish more colouring books companies would take that on board. Oh, do you know what I would love? And it'd be fantastic if they came out with like a proper tan toned colouring book. That'd be fantastic. So I'm going to leave this to dry. I'm not going to use the heat gun because I want to use the heat gun at the end for taking the tape off if it's misbehaving. So I don't want to warp it too much. There's a little bit there that I've missed. Am I going to be able to do this with the last remaining bits? yeah, I should get away with it. So yeah, I'll probably leave this for about 15 minutes and just not touch it at all. Now I'm just hoping that I've left it long enough, and I've just noticed here it started to lift, and there's a little patch of paint here that's a little bit more clumpy than the rest, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I've still got my heat gun there just in case this decides to be naughty, but I'm just going to take my time, because ideally I want to reuse this tape again. Thank gosh for that. It does look really wavy though. The paper did not like that acrylic. It's strange that, isn't it? It's behaved really well for the watercolour, but with the acrylic it's like, nope. Hold your breath. Count to 10. Yeah, see, it's gone over a little bit there. Maybe that's probably my fault, not pushing it down enough. Oh well. At least it's not ripping the paper, and it's just ripped it there. There's something with the bottom of this paper here. I have no idea. It's just the bottom right here that's playing up. Yeah, it's that, just this bit here, this like L shape. Strange. Right. So let's see if I can... Can you see what I'm doing there? Other way around. Other way around. Right, so make sure I push it down this time. You learn, don't you? Might take a few goes, but you learn. Like, you stick down there. And then some at the top. Oh, I have to bring it closer, I cannot see. That should be alright. Right, so we do need some more paint. I've done well this time, not wasting paint. Now let's see if that's enough. Let's do this top bit first. What's up with your belly roll though? I'm not strange, I'm talking to my dog. She's sat at my feet. I can hear her belly rumbling. At the bottom one now. I think there should be enough here. Any left over, let's go over the top of this one again. Not leave any blobs. I think I'll try and use the heat gun with this, and let's just see how it behaves. Might be easier to get the tape off if I actually use the heat gun. So I'll move that now, that can go into water. That needs cleaning. We'll do the top one first. Now I have got a piece of plastic behind here, so I do have to be careful with the heat gun because it will melt it. I'll try and keep it a little further away and work on the bottom as well. You can see when this is almost dry because it goes like matte almost. Let me see if I can peel this off. Please, please don't rip. I've not left that long enough though. Right, you stay there. Right, the very last piece is this here. quick, quick, quick. See? Look at that. That started bending that night. If I'd left that a second longer, it would have got into the book. Like, I melted onto the book. So yeah, be careful when you're using a heat gun and then plastic sheets, because that's what can happen. Stay. But I'm quite pleased with that. I'm not going to go over pencil just yet. There's a couple of areas I can see here that are not completely dry. I do need to add, I'll pick a colour out while I'm waiting. Just a really neutral brown for here, just to add a little bit of shadow. I'm not going to go in individually doing them twigs. Absolutely no chance. So the two colours I've got here that look alright, we've got dark chocolate brown and espresso brown. They're not the sort of browns that I wanted though. That one looks okay. Burnt umber. I think it's alright. Let me check the back of the paper. We've got a tiny little bit at the top there. Tiny bit. I like this page as well, all the different seasons. I'm sort of kicking myself now that I've not coloured in this boot more, because I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So nothing, what's the word I was trying to say then? Nothing spectacular what I'm doing. I just want to add a little bit of shadow for where he's standing. And it'll be darker here as well. Right, we're okay. We're okay. There was an illustration in here, and I think it was like a knight, and I'm so inspired from the House of the Dragon. Is it at the front or the back? That one. That I'm thinking about doing that one next. Maybe. Light effect now. I think with her we can do that now. So I think my lightest colour is jasmine yellow, lemon yellow. I might not use all these, but like these ones are pulling out. Lemon yellow, sunflower yellow, Tuscan sun, and then turmeric yellow maybe. Hello. Even a stretch, love. Right. I'm not too fussed about sharpening these super sharp, because the way that I'm going to use them. Now, I don't think I should go over here, because if I just did that and it's sort of like a circle around it, I think that'll look ridiculous because the rest of it's not coloured. So I'll have to stick with my original plan and just keep it within the rectangle of the illustration. So I want to start off with the lightest shade, which is lemon yellow. I'm using this as a sort of guide. Really light hand, but I don't want any harsh lines, so I'm going in circular motions. So you just got to think where it's coming off. So we definitely have this bit, the tail. Even that twig there. Making some funny noises you today, Rollo. The top of his toes. Oh, this piece of clothing. I don't know what this is called. So we're just saying this piece of clothing. And the further you get out, the lighter you want it to be. Because it wouldn't be really bright here. On his face. Not too much because I don't want to cover that beautiful paint up. Now I don't know. Oh, it's not too bad actually. I was thinking, I wonder how much it's going to show up this. That's not too bad. So all around here will be quite bright. Be careful with the edge. Now that I've decided that I'm not going in that direction. Let's take another look. Some on the hand. Maybe a touch on this foot as well. The ear. I don't think it'd reach this far back, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think it'll reach here. Maybe a little bit just on the cloak there, just the tip of the cloak. Same as his shoulder, his arm. And now on the leaves. So that's another good reason that I kept these areas quite light, because they show up beautifully. What are you grunting about, dog? Now I don't want to pull it up any further. I'm not doing these top ones. So the next colour, sunflower yellow. Now I don't want this in every area that I've just put that other colour. Just want it in certain ones. Need to decide what I'm doing about this now, whether I'm using gel pen or some sort of metallic paint. I've got some Coloro paint that might do the job nicely. And the sword as well. It's sort of just placed in the colour and then looking back, because I might come back to this in an hour or so and think, right, well, I've missed a bit. I'm hoping that I don't do that because I want to film the whole process, but that's what can happen. Well, you missed a bit there, it's probably going to be like there, that sort of thing. Now I'm debating whether to use this colour, Tuscan Sun. Maybe just a touch of it. Yeah, here and there sort of. And then the darkest turmeric yellow. I'm going to switch back to the Tuscan Sun. Just add a little bit more here. There you go, I'm happier with that. I think I'm happy with that overall, so I need to pick out what colour watercolour paints I'm going to use. And they're right here as well, right here. I'm literally thinking about this gold, but I have got this palette as well that's got more greens in it. Oh, that might be better actually. No, gold. I've got the Paul Rubin one. No, I think I'm going to go with the Coloro one. Just play it safe, sort of. So, where's my water? Where is my water? The opposite side. Ugh. So let's activate this. A couple of drops of water. And then a teeny tiny paintbrush. I'll use this Princeton Neptune round 2. Round 2. Sounds like I'm commuting again, doesn't it? I do need to leave this really instead of messing with it, but I can't help myself. Look how pretty it is. I think you get a load of paint for your money with these Coloro ones, and I don't ever see myself buying this exact palette again because it'll just last me forever. Unless I was doing like A1 massive pieces of art. So that looks like that it's nearly there now. Because I do want it quite thick. Not too worried about these circles because I could always go back in with a fine liner and add the details over the top of these paints. So try and be as careful as I can to stay in the lines. She says that then completely goes out the lines. I want it quite thick, this. So I thought I'd bring you in on an even closer angle so you can see a little bit better. And it's had more time to activate as well, this paint. That was just me being impatient. I do want to try and stay in the lines as much as possible because I don't want to have to go over with a fine liner if I can help it. Trying my best to stay in these lines. I don't think I've got a smaller Princeton Neptune brush. I think this is the smallest one I own. Let's pull this up now. As I can see, I've missed a couple of bits here. We're on the home stretch. Yes. So happy that he's done now. So that's it. He's done. I'm quite happy with that. I don't feel the need to mess around with anything else. I think it's a decent sized colouring page this. It's not the whole page like, let me see if I can find another one. Like that's a whole page thing. With it being just in this rectangle, I think it makes it go by a little bit quicker. The paint is still a little bit wet there. But I wanted to finish this video. But I hope that you did enjoy it, you know, seeing the process from start to finish of me painting this and then adding a little bit of pencil. I haven't added a whole lot of pencil, and then them Coluro paints and then the light effect. I think he's absolutely adorable and I enjoyed every single second of it. And like I mentioned before, I expect to see quite a few more videos on this book because I'm loving it at the moment, absolutely loving it. If you did enjoy any part of the video, please do leave me a big thumbs up. It helps out my channel so much. And if you've not subscribed, please do now. And lots of stuff to look forward to in the future. But until my next video, take care. Bye.